Hello, or hallo, as they say in Austria, the land where today's product, Waterbird's flexible motorized sliders, comes from. These are amazing sliders that come in a variety of different sizes, and they're controllable through a bunch of different methods. This one is the Pro. It is a slider which can be controlled via Bluetooth. You can run it with an app on your phone, and you can make the slider move back and forth or ping pong, however you like, to put either DSLRs or cinema cameras, or in this case we have a PTZ camera with a PTZ Cam Electrum for wireless remote control, video, all of the different things that we need in order to control a PTZ camera wirelessly. So we can apply that to a variety of things. We can, for example, shade a cinema camera wirelessly using this technique. So I'm going to go over a couple of the different applications that we can use this for, what kind of cameras we can mount it on, what kind of, how much can it bend, where can it go. So there's a lot of different things to take a look at here, so let's get into it. First, I want to talk about the actual sliding unit itself. This is what I call the carriage. It has a metal plate with a number of 3/8 and quarter 20 holes on it for mounting all of your different kinds of gear. It has a housing for the motor, and there's a little control unit here on the side. And that control unit can take power in two ways. So it's got 12-volt power either through a 4-pin connector or a regular kind of 12-volt connector. So we could take a V-mount battery and go D-tap to 12-volt, and I will just demonstrate that briefly by plugging in this guy. That gives it the power, and then we connect to the unit itself. I'm using an Android phone, but it works equally well on iPhone. And there's a calibration where what we do is we tell it what the start and end are. But just to show you that it's moving, and it's pretty easy just to power it and connect the app and get it going. The other methods of control and power are, you can go, here's a D-tap to 4-pin XLR, that would go in over here. Or here is a regular wall connection to 4-pin XLR. So you can have a wired version so you don't have to have a battery charged all the time. Kind of depends on whether you have a fixed or mobile installation. So the MS Pro and the MS Swift, which is pretty much a similar unit, have this kind of rail on it. It's flexible, and we release, these are called the brakes here at the end. So we can make the unit straight. We could curve just a section of it. We can curve all of it. And then you reapply the brakes. That locks the band. There's a band here that the motor pulls on, so it's a flexible piece of material. So it'll only bend inwards. It doesn't bend the other way, but it will bend pretty much as you want it to. And it doesn't just bend. We can put it in a variety of different places. Here we have the unit mounted on 2 light stands. Happily, these light stands came with 3/8 pegs on them. So basically, we just pop the pegs into the 3/8 holes underneath each one of the sections of track here, and just threw it on the light stands. And we could make this go up as high as we like, and at any curvature we like as well. So now I've set up the unit to kind of ping pong back and forth, and we could use that ping pong function for what? For doing 2-person interviews, or any kind of interview of a person where you need to have a cutaway shot of dynamic action. And in this ping pong, what I've done is I've set it to go slowly to the end. So there's an acceleration factor that I've programmed into it, so that when it reaches the end, it doesn't just stop and then start again. It has a nice deceleration to it, and then it pauses for a determined amount, in this case 1 second, and then it speeds up again to head back the other way. So what we've done now is we've mounted the unit nearly vertically on a tripod. It should be noted that the unit should not carry more than 2 kilograms in this configuration, which is like 4.5 pounds. But that is enough for it to carry our PTZ camera. So what we've done is we've connected a cable, which is its PoE, its video, its control. We have the power cable for the slider itself. And what I've done is I've created a preset so that as the unit moves up and down, I'm able to trigger a preset that will actually give us some more dynamic movement. So we're getting almost a crane-like movement out of a fairly inexpensive PTZ camera and a wonderful Waterbird slider. And yes, it mounts on the ceiling. Can you imagine? You could have your cameras moving back and forth, aiming at the ideal product or person or groups of people without any tripods or wires on the floor. You could mount any one of the Waterbird units, whether it's the Pro, the Swift, or the MS XL, on the ceiling, as long as the ceiling has the load-bearing capacity for the units itself. The app is pretty easy to use. I can open it up, and it does a little scan for sliders available. I just click my slider, it loads up its current settings, and I can immediately control its position. What I want to do is I want to calibrate it. I'm not going to calibrate it full from end to end because that might take a while, but I'm going to say this is one end. And then I'm going to say this is home. And now once I've done that, I can now say I want you to go to end or home or stop. There are also other settings in here. We can use it to control cameras to trigger their shutters using the USB. We can do time lapse, so we can have the unit move over the course of the track to different positions and trigger the camera. And the feature that I've been using is called ping pong mode. And I will basically just start it, and while I'm talking, it's going to move from what I've defined as its start and end points, slow down, pause for a second, and then speed back up again, and repeat that over and over. So now let's put it all together. We've got the Waterbird slider, and we've put a PTZ camera on it with NDI. We have a PTZ Cam Electrum with Ethernet and HDMI signals going to it. We're sending the NDI HX signal over to the Mark Roberts computer running Polymotion Chat, which is analyzing the NDI signal, and it's telling the camera where to look. So as the PTZ camera moves along the slider, it's always keeping me in focus because it's analyzing the signal and drawing a wireframe over my body. So regardless of how long this track is, or whether it's on the ceiling or on a tripod or going up and down, we've always got our talent in focus, which actually can let the TD and the camera operator focus more on other things. So it's a really neat combination. It kind of shows how we can pull all of these things together into a single solution that is really perfect for a lot of applications. And that's Waterbird for you, an easy way to add dynamic movement to your videos. It comes in all different shapes and sizes, and it's perfect for just about every kind of production. If you have any more questions about it, please feel free to reach out to us at US Broadcast. Thanks for watching.